Hello, allow me to jump scare you with an Evermore Park related video. Recently, I visited the Crooked Lantern Tavern in Salt Lake City. This is a recreation of the tavern that was part of Evermore Park, slightly scaled down. It hasn't had its grand opening yet, so it hasn't really been open to the public, but I did get to visit it. And I know that some of you have been curious about this, so I wanted to share a few things I saw and learned. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Okay, here we are outside the building. We're hoping it's the right building. And this is going to be kind of our first time stepping into the Crooked Lantern Tavern since, for me, it was lore of...
Yeah, same
what
for me
was it,
too.
2023?
23? Yeah, I think
wow.
so. 2 years.
Yeah. So, we're going to see.
Fun.
Hey there, how are
Hello.
you? Ross.
Hi.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you. Sorry.
Welcome.
We're filming it.
That's okay. So, this is under construction, so normally this is actually going to be like an explorer's lounge. Yeah. Then you'll have to open the doors to the tavern.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Oh my goodness.
My kids love this dragon. Oh, and there's some of the dragon heads over there.
Wow. You'll recognize a bunch of things that are in here.
Oh, yeah, I recognize this.
The druids.
This is from the candy shop, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon eggs.
Oh, yeah.
And that came from the catacombs.
The cipher?
Yeah, so those were actually the grave markers.
Oh my god.
So we've got the original sign.
Yeah! Oh wow, that's
No
cool.
way! Oh my goodness.
That's cool.
That is fantastic.
That makes me so happy. And this is a very pretty sign on there too.
So this is where you come and pick up your costumes.
Yeah.
So on the other side of those doors is what you're here to see.
Okay, it's like the Aragorn moment in
Yeah.
Two Towers.
You might want to step on the other side so you don't see.
And you're gonna close your eyes? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going in.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I have goosebumps! Oh, yes.
Oh, the music's on! Hello, old friend. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
The conversations
So many.
that this has seen. This year's. I assume you have the the old bottle that was always up here?
So that went back to Ken.
It did, okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
he made sure that he got that.
Oh my gosh. And there's some of the vampire portraits. There's one of the vampire lady that was always my favorite.
So I have them all.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So many of the props from Evermore Park were brought over here by Ross McGarvey, and he was the CEO of Evermore as per its last operating season before the ultimate closure. He has recreated the tavern within a larger building. I know the main rumor was that this was meant to be a restaurant. It's not a restaurant. It's a place to display Evermore items and a micro event venue suitable for a party, a small corporate meeting, photo shoots, filming, that sort of thing. It's recreated with a combination of original items from the original Crooked Lantern Tavern at Evermore Park, including the original bar and tables and chairs, as well as some of the FanX pop-up booth elements, such as the ceiling, which is made out of painted canvas.
So this, in the original one, there was another section, it was like 3.5 feet, and it swung open, and you could access.
Did you ever see that happen?
So it was for set dressing, so in the exterior there was 3 windows.
Yeah.
And the section here allowed you to access the middle window.
So you can leave the building.
No, so there's a whole lore here. So the tavern was not actually built correctly.
Okay.
So you ever notice there was no running water? Like they didn't serve drinks or anything like that.
Yeah.
The bar was supposed to be on the opposite side where the fireplace is, because that's the wet wall. So your plumbing, your drainage, all that stuff is there.
Okay.
There was supposed to be two windows and a door. That middle window was supposed to be a door to the patio.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense. So what else is in this building? Well, one room over from the Crooked Lantern Tavern is the Curiositorium. This is another room housing a lot of different little Evermore artifacts, such as the vampire script cipher, artwork, armor pieces, dragon eggs, and more are in display in there. One room over from that is Curious Costume Co., where all of the costumes from Evermore are stored. This was the most exciting thing to see. Yes.
Is
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna cry.
everyone has emotion.
All the costumes from Evermore and the garden heads.
Going to have to get Faldo over there.
Oh my gosh. The bonnets.
So I saved as much as I possibly could.
They had the original Evermore wooden sign. Just every costume was bringing up so many memories of photographing things, of moments with those characters, of moments with other world walkers, plot points. Even just all the like Dickens coats made me, because just thinking that I would never see so many of these items again, it was wild to be there next to them. They are in the process of being sorted, and they are going to be available to be rented out for events or photo shoots, that type of thing. The front area we initially walked into is going to be an adventurer's lounge. So it sounds like maybe there's going to be a lot of little areas to house all these different Evermore artifacts and display them.
This was not 100% finished, but it was finished last fall. And then we had our first event last December, and I've not really pushed and promoted, partly because on the other side of that door is my wife's antique shop that we have been building. The big picture, like in an ideal world, we'll run small nights, but with the D&D groups in here, we've had a bunch of different stuff. And also, I mean, the real reason I built it was because I wanted to save something from the park. The tavern was always like my favorite building.
Yeah.
Like lots of good memories. And so, because I was running the park when we were shutting it down, I talked to Ken and I was like, hey, so what's happening with the bar? Can I take it? He's like, well, it was not fully attached. And so we moved all this and rebuilt it all. It's been...
It seems the ultimate goal is to welcome guests to themed nights where they can view the curiosities and spend time in the tavern with some kind of entertainment. There's only room for maybe 15 to 20 people in the tavern at a time, at least seated. So I'm not sure what kind of theme nights they are planning with that small of an audience, unless it's things where you aren't lingering in the space very long, like a dragon meet and greet, or maybe a D&D night where it's not very many people. I'm curious what they have in mind. I'll be interested to see what they propose. It has already been rented out several times by different groups for little corporate awards meetings or parties or different things, so there seems to be some interest there. And finally, the building also has Mill Creek Manor. This is an antique, home decor, and art store. They were busy setting up for their grand opening, which is this weekend, so I didn't film in there. So if you did want to peek at the tavern, note November 22nd, this weekend, that grand opening seems to be a pretty good time to do it. You're going to be able to shop the antiques, and they have a bunch of vendors coming in, like Folklore Bookstore and a Swedish candy wagon. A lot of things that are aimed towards that old world Christmas vibe, and this isn't sponsored or anything. They haven't advertised it much, especially it's being advertised on the antique shop's Instagram, but there has only been like shared stories on the Crooked Lantern Tavern, so I'm not sure anyone following them actually knows that they'll be able to walk into the tavern that day. It's not open day to day yet, the tavern part. Right now, that seems to just be open for special events or if one rents it. I don't know if the ultimate plan is to have it open daily or if it's only ever meant to be for those rentals and events. My guess would be the latter, but we will see. Anyway, the event is 11 to 7. If you want to be there 12 to 2, that's when they're going to have Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus, and Dickens-Styles carolers in the Evermore costumes, providing some entertainment there. This was a bittersweet visit. I'm not going to lie, it was kind of hard at times. There was a lot of feelings coming up with, there was some frustrating things with how Evermore never really was able to get those logistics together to be what it had the potential to be, and that's sad. I said my goodbyes to the park in October of 2023, not really knowing if I would ever see my home away from home again. That's when it was thought that the park would close, and even when it reopened the next season, it had just been too much catch and release for me, and I needed a break from that cycle, so I didn't go. As far as how the Crooked Lantern came to be as it is now, what I've been told and to the best of my understanding, and I'll also just follow example and throw in allegedly and from what I've heard, there was a party that came in intending to buy Evermore Park, including the IP, and the understanding was an expectation that they would continue to run the park with guests coming in to enjoy that. I think the expectation fell through. Allegedly, the buyers wanted to go in a different direction with how they wanted to use the venue. And so a lot of the items were taken away from Evermore Park. I would say pretty much all of the items were removed from Evermore so that the land and the buildings would be sold without the props, costumes, or IP. Ross acquired many of these items, and what he has is what is displayed at the Crooked Lantern Tavern and surrounding spaces in that building. It makes me very happy that these costumes and props and decor are being preserved. And particularly with the costumes, just that they're not sitting in a parking lot or a storage container anymore. They're getting dusted off. They're preparing to play again and be admired again and help tell stories again. At least that would be my hope, because they are such beautiful pieces and I was very happy to see them again. I just want them to have life again. One very fun moment was seeing this absolute hoard of Evermore coins and being invited to take some. We all know that is my favorite collector item from Evermore, is any kind of Evermore coin. We even got to see the old scale model, and I looked it up, and it has been 11 years since I first saw this model at FanX. 2014. It does not feel that long. It feels like 7 years max. This is one thing that I was like, nobody's gonna have room to put that anywhere. I bet that doesn't exist. These items do seem like they are being cared for with enthusiasm and respect. One of the former costumers of the park is helping to organize all the costumes and making sure they are taken care of. Apparently there's a lot more to add to it still that wasn't out when I was there. I think I'm going to have to wait a little longer and see what they do with it to understand their full concept for the space and how they want people to interact with it. I have to say, it was really special to see Varosh again, to see the Ice Lord costume pieces, which you all know I am forever obsessed with. I just always thought that the construction on these were so good. And the tavern, or at least a reborn version of it. It really was such a centerpiece of the park and of the park experience. Certainly my first visit to the park, walking into the tavern, was my aha moment of really feeling transported into an immersive experience. Anyway, that's all the news I currently have on the Crooked Lantern Tavern. If I hear anything else interesting, I'll probably pop it up on my Instagram stories. Until next time, keep creating and stay ever adventurous. Bye.